fellas, welcome to Cringe Confessional, the cringiest show on the internet. I set up an anonymous Google form for my Twitch chat where they can send me the most embarrassing, cringiest stories of their lives. And I did it a long time ago, and I've still got stories to tell. So we're gonna do that right now. And hey, if you wanna be on the show, go to cringe.coney.gg and you can submit your story totally anonymously. Let's go ahead and listen to some terrifying cringe stories, anonymous from Twitch chat, shall we?
When I was growing up, around the age of 4 or 5, my parents would always tell me just go outside when someone else was using the bathroom.
Okay.
And they bestowed this knowledge upon me thinking that I'd go carefully hide somewhere in the backyard and piss without anyone seeing me.
Oh.
For context, I live in the deep south and pissing outside is just kinda normal down here if you can't get a bathroom.
I mean, I think this should be normal everywhere, I'm gonna be honest. Maybe I'm gross, but I feel like it's not that crazy to, like, go into the woods, man. Just go find the woods and just go on a tree or something. But I have a feeling that you weren't, very discreet about your activity.
I really had to shit, and my older brother was bathing in the only bathroom we had and I couldn't wait that long.
Right.
So instead of doing the smart thing and waiting, I instead stood in my front yard, like a foot or two away from the road of our rural neighborhood, and dropped my pants and just dropped some brown off right there in front of anyone unfortunate enough to be standing outside or driving by.
How long did it take?
Afterwards, I walked back inside the house like nothing happened,
left that shit
and I
on the
remember
front
hearing
lawn?
my
Did you not
neighbor
have a
running up to
back
the house
lawn?
and shouting my mom's name.
Sharon, you're not gonna believe this.
Afterwards, she grounded me for a few days and had to clarify we do not poop outside, only pee, and to only do it in the backyard where no one could see me.
Yeah, I think that's more on the parents for not being incredibly clear. Kids are stupid and they don't know anything. You gotta tell them everything, but she's gotta punish you somehow, right?
I remember crying because I thought it was unfair that I couldn't finish the Pokemon Stadium Gym Challenge because they expected me to have common sense at the age of like 4.
Yeah, honestly, I think you were right about that. I feel like that I would be kind of mad at them too if I was your age, or maybe a little older, like 8. I would be mad too. So I understand this person, but mine was when I was a kid and the teachers refused to let me go when I asked and pleaded, so I went right there in the playground. Fuck y'all. I have heard that story, maybe not like a real story, like an urban legend of like the kid who really had to pee and the person said no and then they win their pants. I don't know if that was just like a common cartoon trope or if it was like an urban legend or one of those stories, like stories from Wayside High or whatever that story thing is called. Like, I feel like that's a common thing, but yeah, the teacher who doesn't let you go and then you go anyway. It's just common IRL. Is it? Makes sense.
This is the story about how I found my IRL crush on Club Penguin.
Aw.
This happened in middle school.
Cute.
I had a crush on a girl named Ariana.
Cool.
One day, while I was on Club Penguin after school, I was sending heart emojis to a random penguin on the internet, pretending that it was her.
That's adorable.
The other penguin sent some back.
Oh my god.
It was back and forth, and we ended up going to the pizzeria, the iceberg, etc. I even brought said penguin back to my igloo.
A whole date.
I didn't have a Club
full-on
Penguin membership
date.
at the
Beautiful.
time. So all that was in there was me and the penguin, and my pet Puffo.
Cute.
And yet we were still sending each other heart emojis and the generic penguin dance.
I bet that shit hits so hard when you're in middle school. Like, whoa, they're dancing back. They're heart emojiing back. We're going back and forth. Oh my god, I'm feeling these feelings. They see me and they acknowledge me and I think they like me.
We eventually sent friend requests back to each other just in case we were on at the same time again.
That's so
Fast
cute.
forwarding to school maybe a week later, I was speaking to Ariana casually and found out that she played Club Penguin.
No way.
I said I did too and asked for her ID. She told me and I said, man, that sounds familiar. She asked what was mine and then she froze too.
No.
The air of awkwardness filled the room, as in that moment we both realized that penguins that we were sending heart emojis to were each other.
That's not real.
To break the silence, I decided to admit to her that I had a crush on her anyways. Asking her if she wanted to go out.
That's cute.
She politely said, no thank you, and walked away.
What?
After that, she blocked me on Club Penguin,
Why?
and we never really spoke after that again.
Why? What? She thought that the penguin she was interacting with was the captain of the football team. There's no way this penguin is ugly and smelly in real life. You know, it's funny because in my mind, this is a story about how, like, she thought that she liked you and you were talking with her and she was really into you, but then she was really shallow because physically you weren't her type or whatever. You weren't interacting with her really, right? You weren't having real conversations. You were doing the generic penguin dance back and forth and hitting a heart button. It's not like you were having these deep, meaningful connections and convos. It's just, you just happen to be online at the same time.
Club Penguin was played by thousands of kids around the world.
Yeah.
What were the chances?
Well, I mean, she could have been lying to you, but why would she? You could be lying to me. This might not be real, but why would you?
The year is 2012.
I gotta keep moving.
Skylanders Giants has just released.
Awesome.
And it's all the rage at my school.
Cool.
I'm probably the biggest fan of it in my friend group.
Magnetor.
And find any excuse to talk about it or play games related to it. One day, this kid I hated comes up to me and tells me that he wants to play Skylanders with me.
Not Jeremy. He has coldish.
My autistic ass leaps on the opportunity and accepts the offer. Despite me knowing full well that the guy I'm talking to is a jerk and has successfully manipulated me in the past.
The word successfully there is very funny. How do you get successfully manipulated in middle school?
He takes me to a group of other kids and tells me those guys are playing too. They offer to be the enemies.
Oh, no.
You should go fight them. So I go up and start beating them up without realizing that they clearly weren't part of the game and were just rondos.
Okay, wait, you could do that in Skylanders? You could just walk up to people in the game and start beating the shit out of them? Who's in the game? Okay, wait. So you are pretending to be Skylanders in real life? There's no video game aspect on the playground. Okay, I didn't think that an elementary schooler would get manipulated and not like the word manipulated in elementary school did not. I have to tone it down. I see. So we were just beating the shit out of some kids. Got it.
Teachers have a word with me about why that was wrong or whatever.
Okay.
And I leap on the opportunity to start explaining the gameplay of Skylanders and why I was actually in the right.
No, actually, I was defeating them for their flame gems because I need 100 flame gems to be able to activate the molten core. And then once I do that, then I can actually craft some better armor to make me stronger so I can beat up the 6th graders.
In my excitement talking about Skylanders, the guy who talked me into it completely slips my mind and I take full blame.
Well, you should.
This kind of thing happened a lot to me as a kid. I wouldn't believe you if you
said that.
But this one stands out as a particularly egregious example.
You sound like Charlie Brown. Like your whole life was just getting Charlie Browned over and over by cool and smarter kids. Also, this kind of thing happening a lot. Like Skylanders specifically? Or just like getting tricked into beating up random people. You're like a summon. You just get told to like, hey, that guy said something really mean about you and your mom. Oh yeah? This chatter is pure of heart. That's what they are. That's adorable.
So I have always been a big fan of Sonic since I was a little kid.
Who isn't?
Because of this, I owned a giant Sonic plushie in my room that I kept well into my teens.
Very cute.
In my senior year of high school, I started taking melatonin to help me sleep, which also gave me some crazy dreams.
Uh-oh. This could go any number of ways.
One such dream was I was with a beautiful lady, and eventuality me and her made it back to my room and started doing the devil's tango. It felt real to me and I was having the time of my life. All of a sudden I am walking from my dream by my mother and I am on my bed in my sleep dry humping and kissing my giant Sonic plushie. She had been in there because I was making quite a ruckus and she wanted to make sure I was okay. The next morning me and her had a talk about my sexuality and that it was okay that I was this way and that there was no reason to be ashamed or try to hide it.
Well,
I tried to explain to her that none of that happened on purpose, but she was convinced I was just embarrassed.
Oh, dude, you're getting the talk because you're making out with your Sonic plush. Oh. Mom thinks you are a closeted furry, but like an extreme one, specifically for Sonic. Good for her for being supportive. I wouldn't believe you either. But that's a terrible spot to be in. Did you throw it away after that? Did you keep the Sonic plushie, or did it just bring up too many bad memories? Whoa, slow down, champ. That's too fast, even for me. Stop now. Now I'll show you.
I do art as a hobby. One summer when I was on break from uni, I was drawing, as you do. My dad randomly comes in and asks to see what I'm drawing.
Titties?
This is the first time in 8 years that he has shown any interest in my art, so I should be happy, yes?
Was it naked Sonic the Hedgehog? Lock it in.
Problem was, at that moment I happened to be drawing Xenoblade porn.
Oh my god, oh my god, oh my god. It's worse, it's worse, it's worse, it's worse. Actually, it's better. It's better than naked Sonic the Hedgehog. It's a human, I think. Unless it's Ricky Ticky. Isn't that the guy's name? Ricky Ticky? Am I thinking of Ricky Ticky Tab? You know what I'm talking about? It's a sword. Shut up, stupid.
I have to carefully find an unfinished drawing that would end the conversation as fast as possible without flipping to the wrong tab or revealing my tablet, lest he get an eyeful of Melia playing with herself.
Hold on. Oh. Okay. Don't Google it. I just didn't know if it was like the one that like the really bouncy one. Like there are levels to how bad that could be, right? Like, you know, the really bouncy blue one that people have sent me the link for before. Dahlia, is that her name? Yeah, I don't like that you knew. She's from Xenoblade 1, not Xenoblade 2. Okay, I'm discovering something dreadful about my viewer base. I'm realizing exactly how deep and intricate this goes. This could have been any one of you. This could have been so many of you guys behind this story. I definitely heard Coney type 4 words. It was Melia, Xenoblade, not Xenoblade 2. That's what I typed. Didn't your chat vote Xenoblade as #1 Nintendo franchise a few years back? I think they were fucking with me. I didn't think that was real. I didn't think you guys all knew that.
I was able to defuse the situation quickly by flipping to a random safe for a work drawing and got him to leave. But by that point, I wasn't even horny anymore. I now charge extra for NSFW commissions, and to this day, I've never posted any of my NSFW art publicly.
Hey, congratulations. Wow, so this person's an artist. Successful at that. Able to do commissions. #ad, I'm saying. Like, that impressive. Cool. What a weird thing to throw in at the end, but hey, congrats. You know, you can make a lot of money from that. Patreon is all over that shit, I think.
This is back when I was 19. At the time, I had a girlfriend who was on holiday.
Oh, was she on holiday? Was she on a jolly holiday? Where'd she go? I'm so mean. I'm sorry, man. You just can't say it. Say vacation. You're gonna get in trouble here. You know what's gonna happen.
So, we were video calling, and it was really horny.
A bit randy, perhaps.
So, we both began doing it on video call.
Okay.
Then my mom comes to the door, knocks and asks what I'm doing.
Okay.
To my girlfriend, I say I'm coming, not hearing my mom. Then I hear the most outrageous laughter from my mom. And it gets brought up every time I'm ever with her.
Did you think your girlfriend was asking, what are you doing on the video call? Mutual masturbation on the Discord call, and then like a few minutes at, what are you doing? Where am I? Am I asleep? Did I have a dream? If the chatter rolls the charisma check, you can pass it off as the other coming. Yeah, wait a minute, that's normal. If somebody knocked on my door and I said, I guess it depends on my inflection. If I say I'm coming, like I could do that. Say it the other way now. You saw my brain turning, right? I was like, but what if I said it like this? And then I just, not giving you guys that clip. That's gonna fuck up the Coney AI.
About a year ago, in my senior year of college, some friends of mine were holding a Halloween party, and I chose to go as Samurai Ronin with a one-piece katana and a yukata I got in Japan.
That is so fucking cool, man.
To accompany this outfit, I also had an entire 24-ounce bottle of sake that I would drink out of like Jamie from Street Fighter, and could conveniently fit in my robe's big-ass sleeve.
Ah, the drunken master. Very cool.
This bottle did not last the night, resulting in me blacking out, during which time I decided to attempt an approximately 20-minute walk back to my apartment.
Perhaps the drunken amateur.
These next events have still yet to be fully deciphered.
Sure.
But in the next 30 minutes, I had managed to call my crush to tell her where I was despite her not even being at this party. Drop the singular AirPod, my katana, and my robe's belt in front of a random house. Then proceed to walk down the street, whilst dropping my phone and keys along the way, before passing out in front of someone's yard. Okay,
it sounds like you are going to wake up to a very pivotal quest. You have a long and layered quest to get some XP, to be able to retrieve all of these items.
When I come
Holy
to,
shit,
it's still
man.
dark. My vision is still blurry, and I realize I don't have my phone or keys. So in a panic, I start screaming help. and
This is
running
what happens to Samus when a new game starts. Like, oh no, my morph ball!
and running in the middle of the road begging for someone to call me and U-boat back to my apartment, all while my U-carter is wrapped around my head, so that the only thing I was wearing were some gym shorts and sandals.
I would think you were a time traveler. I would think that you just got out of the DeLorean and you were from the feudal period. You just, I'll take you back, Sensei. Come with me. The world is very different.
I black out again in the Uber, and next thing I know, I respawn in my bed like I died in Minecraft and lost all my items in my inventory.
Hell yeah.
That next morning, I email my friends to alert them of the situation.
That's awesome.
They find
My
my phone in
katana!
front of someone's house about 5 minutes from the place I left.
Cool.
And I casually find my keys chilling on the side of the street.
Awesome.
So the
That's
irreplaceable
great.
were all recovered.
I love
I
that.
later go door to door asking people if they had seen the remainder of my belongings. To which one person explains how an elderly resident of the neighborhood emailed the entire community to ask if someone had lost some ninja attire, and this woman lived at a house that again. For no reason, I had previously sent the location
okay.
to my crush.
Yeah.
I go there, retrieve the rest of my stuff, thank her for holding on to them over the course of 3 days, and continue on with my life.
All right, what happened to the katana? You said the ninja stuff. I think they would have said a sword, right? Congratulations.
Yes,
That's great.
the crush thing
Big
went
ups.
nowhere. We were both like, yeah, that was fucking weird,
Well.
and acted like it never happened.
Yeah, that's the only way to handle something like that. That's fine. That was a good story. That's what life's for, man. Especially when you're that young, you know, going out partying in a fucked up, stupid costume, not knowing where anything is. You're going to remember that story. And nothing bad happened with no problem.
When I was in middle school,
Yep.
all of the confirmation candidates in my Catholic church were forced to go on a weekend-long trip at an orphanage turned insane asylum turned prison turned retreat center.
Oh my
One
God,
of the
that's a
group
lot of
activities
ghosts.
we were forced into was to play Red River.
Holy shit, man. That's a lot of things to haunt that place. It's a lot of bad juju. Orphanage turned insane asylum turned prison turned retreat center. You're going to have a lot of different spirits roaming the premises.
When we lined up, I had two small girls on either side of me. Directly across from us was a 6-foot, 240-pound linebacker named Carl.
In middle school? These kids are big.
At the first opportunity, my team
Oh, no,
says,
don't say that. Don't. No,
Red
no, no,
Rover,
no. Don't do
Red
that. Don't do
Rover,
that. Don't do
10
that. No,
caliber.
not Carl. Not
He locks
Carl.
eyes with me and begins
Not
his march.
Carl.
As he's walking over, I assure both of the girls that I won't hurt
Get
them
behind
and will
me,
let them
girls!
get through with relative ease. One says okay, but the other just grips my arm tighter and looks at me with determination.
Big ass
I
Carl.
think this is really cool of her, and as he walks through us, we both give it our all, actually stalling him for a second
Okay,
before he slowly pushes through our linked arms.
that's adorable.
When I look over to
Okay.
her to say nice effort, I notice her hand is super bloody.
Oh
I
God.
fear that I've hurt her and apologize
you
while
or her?
asking if she is okay. Then I notice my own arm is covered in blood.
Who is it? Did she like scratch it? What
On
happened?
closer examination, I realized that her nails had scraped through or 4 valleys out of my arm,
Oh
and
my
I'm
God!
bleeding profusely with chunks of my flesh on the ground between us. What is my reaction, you may ask?
Mine,
I
scream!
immediately yell very loudly. Oh, I promise I don't have AIDS. You're safe.
Maybe you just saw Rent? Middle schooler who just watched Rent. Like, it was top of mind for you, right? Like, there's got to be a generous assumption. Kids are sponges. That kid probably, like, had AIDS on the brain somehow. Why was that on the top of your mind?
She looks at me with disgust and is escorted away by her friends who all stare at me disapprovingly.
Yeah, you were the victim before, and now you're a fucking creep. Like, before it was like, oh my God, look at this poor guy's arm. That's so sad. And now everybody's like, he just had to assure the entire retreat that he didn't have it. We should get her tested now.
On the bright side, I was exempt from all other group games the rest of the
I
time.
bet, yeah.
And got to just hang around, talk, and enjoy the other more educational aspects of the retreat.
Okay, that's a fucked up story for a fucked up retreat. Just a haunted ass retreat with arm scratching and blood. Oh my God, that's haunted. I hate that.
When I was 5 years old, my family and I took a vacation to the beach in Florida. One night I wanted to go swimming in the pool. The hotel we were at had a huge pool, and it was always busy at night.
Hell
We
yeah.
went down there with my sister, Mom, and Dad,
Love
and we
the
started
swimmies.
swimming. After about 10 minutes, I needed to pee, so I went up from my dad and let him know. And he tells me, like all other dads of boys that I've talked to, that I needed to just pee in the pool.
Yeah, all the other kids are doing it. You've told this story, Coney. I know. Don't that, man. I've had this exact. Okay, here's what happened to me. I take my kid to the pool. I'm like, do you need to go to the bathroom? She says no. You sure? She says no. Like a fucking fool. I trusted her. Not even the stairs. We jump in the pool. I have to go to the bathroom. It's all the way over there. And I'm surrounded by people. And so I'm like, sweetie, you can go here. It's okay. No, I need to go on the potty. Correct. First off, keep it down. In front of everybody, but it was a very busy day at the pool. We went to like a very unpopulated area. I was like, you can just pee. You can just go right here. It's okay. I gotta go potty now. Fuck, okay. And then I got her and we went to the potty, dripping wet all over the floor, freezing cold. It was miserable. Dad, I'm cold. I know. And guess what happened as soon as we got back to the pool? Adult swim. Now she's back because she can't swim.
He just has one request, that I needed to go over to the area where no kids
that's what
were
you do.
and pee over
That's
there.
you separate.
I obliged
Right,
and
yes.
began to swim my way over to the empty side of the pool.
Of course.
Unbeknownst to me, I was supposed to pee in the pool, not into the pool. I climbed the ladder and pulled down my swimsuit to reveal my you-know-what and begin to pee into the pool.
Hey, everybody, look! No, we were all doing it, but I don't want to see it. Everybody was definitely doing that, but it's gross when you do it that way. Stop!
It's a successful pee until about 5 seconds into it, and a woman yells from across the pool, that little boy has his penis out. 5
seconds is a crazy amount of time to get away with that. 5 seconds is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That is how long that kid got to pee.
I was worried about getting punished for my actions, but my parents just couldn't stop laughing long enough to actually punish me. They had to completely drain the pool and closed it for the rest of the night.
They had to flush the whole pool. They had to pull the big switch. A bit of an overreaction. It's very funny. As if no other kid was doing that. They had to be like, oh boy, somebody peed in the pool. Now it all has to turn off. Nobody else ever did that. This pool is full of other toddlers and young kids, and nobody else peed but you. But however, if they didn't do that, I would be mad as a parent, so I get it.
It's now been 20 years since that occasion, and we
That's
are
very
back in
funny.
Florida this past summer.
Now I gotta
My
drain
wife
the
got
whole
me a
pool.
customized airbrush hat that says I pee into pools. I'll never
that's
live
funny.
it down.
That's very funny, actually. I like the into. That's funny.
When I was around 14 years old, my parents decided it was time to upgrade my flip phone, and they gave me an iPhone.
Cool.
This was around
Ooh,
Christmas
iPhones.
time, and I was really into Five Nights at Freddy's as the third installment came out a few months prior.
Scary.
As a kid growing up with internet access and a too curious mind filled with hormones, I dived into the rabbit hole of the internet and found a website known as rule34.xxx.
It's pizza time!
I knew what I was watching could get me in trouble, so
I
I
bet.
cleared my browsing history constantly.
Yep.
On Christmas Eve, my parents decided to do a random check on my phone's browser history.
Oh no, gonna see if you've been naughty or nice. Right at the finish line. Oh.
What I did not know was that on the old Safari it would constantly open new tabs each time I searched. So I naively felt confident my parents would just hand me back my phone
Hundreds
after
and
a few
hundreds
minutes.
of tabs! Hundreds and hundreds of Chica tabs!
My stepfather does that old man scroll while saying under his breath to my mother that's not good at all.
That's really bad. Chica is a chicken. Your dad, knows the lore. Chica is a chicken and technically a child.
He shows my phone to my mother, and through dozens of tabs on Safari showing Five Nights at Freddy's Rule 34 of Foxy and Mangle.
Foxy and Mangle? Mangle? That took quite a turn. It's double cringe. Foxy is whatever. He's the bad boy. He's a pirate. Very athletic, too. I hate that I'm talking about Five Nights like this. I'm almost 40. Which one is Mangle? The ceiling one. That's the old one. This is what it is now. It's like just an exoskeleton. That's Mangle. Wait, that's mango in 4. I thought it was 3. Yo, what that assortment of limbs do? Oh, no. Oh, no. No. No more page downs. No more scrolling. Not doing that.
After what felt like an eternity of watching my stepfather Greg go through my phone, lounging in his casual bathrobe while hitting his vape, they finally tell me that I was in big trouble and that I was grounded.
Dude, looking at the mango portal. Oh, yeah. You're in big trouble, bucko. You know what, though? If I'm the dad, I feel like I'm probably thinking, no other kid does this. Like, I don't have access to the internet. I think my kid's a fucking freak. My kid is, no other kid would ever do this. My sweet boy is mentally ill. Oh, God.
From that point, I never felt quite comfortable buying FNAF merch or posters.
I wouldn't either. Don't bring that shit in my house. Not in my house.
The day after, I was a hollow shell as I opened up Lego sets with my siblings.
And not in my house, not under my roof. When you move out and get a job and have your own life, you're free to put whatever perverted nonsense bullshit you want on your walls. But while you live in my house, I will never see Freddy, Bonnie, Chica, Mangle. Wait, he knows a lot of the characters. The Puppet. Springtrap, William Afton, the phone guy. Dad, do you like Five Nights at Freddy's? No, and definitely not Mangle.
When I was in elementary school, I had an assignment to write a letter to the troops in Iraq.
Cool.
The problem is, I had recently seen an episode of Ren and Stimpy where Ren responds to a fan letter for Stimpy by telling a child that he wets the bed on purpose.
Yeah, I remember that very episode. That did happen. What did you say to our boys in Iraq?
So I, wanting to make a funny reference, wrote to the troops that it was definitely their fault that the war started in the first place.
All right, you got good instincts, kid. That's pretty funny. That's pretty good.
So I, of course, I got in huge trouble,
sure,
and I got my first ever in-school suspension.
They read it?
The teacher who was watching over the suspended students knew me from a previous class, and she said she was very surprised I was in ISS.
Okay, I did not think that said ISS. I was like, is the teacher making a joke? Is the teacher trying to be funny now?
I told her I had committed blackmail. I thought that blackmail was just when you sent a really mean letter.
This is a funny kid. This kid is funny as shit. I would have loved a TV show on your life. Just a funny kid not understanding a goddamn thing and getting into trouble constantly.
When I was a senior in high school, a buddy of mine was throwing a house party because his parents were out of town.
Okay.
I wasn't feeling well the day of the party, so I stayed home from school.
Right.
Later in the day I was feeling better, so I decided I was going to go to the party.
Great.
My buddy threw what could only be described as the party of the century.
Damn.
It was like a party you would see in a movie.
Lampshade on a guy's head.
After some amount of time of drinking,
out,
I needed to go to the bathroom. I knew this guy's house pretty well since I've been a bunch of times, so I had the idea of going into the bathroom attached to the master bedroom.
Okay.
I opened the door and I heard the sounds of people making out.
Ooh.
They didn't notice me open the door, so I just decided to sneak past them to go to the bathroom.
I guess that's okay.
As I snuck off to the bathroom, I took a quick gander at the people on the bed, and who do I see but my own girlfriend?
Oh my god, this is like a party out of a movie.
I didn't know she was gonna be there.
Oh!
I took my piss and washed my hands all the while I was thinking about what I was going to do. As I quietly walked out the bathroom, I had the idea. By this point, they were already in the act of coitus, so I had to wait to confront her. And so I did.
You waited? You waited for her to finish to make her feel bad? I want to make sure they finish so she feels extra bad. She's gonna feel so guilty if they both finish.
I quietly sat in a chair near the bed and waited for this dude to finish because I was not going to be the guy interrupting another guy while he was getting it in, as to not break protocol.
This can't be real. This is, no, this is not a real story. This is not, no. I'm offended that you think that I would think this is real. You did not sit in the chair.
They finished and I did what I thought was appropriate at the time. I gave them a standing ovation.
No, you didn't. You would not do that. This is the least happened story in history. I'm telling you. Imagine your life is so sad that Coney calls your story fake. Cringe Confessional is your favorite series. You hear a lot of very embarrassing stories that all definitely happened. You're like, you know what? This is the worst thing that ever happened to me. I'm gonna write in. And Coney is like, this is so bad, it definitely didn't happen. Of all the stories I've heard over the several years of me doing this, this is the one that couldn't happen to anyone ever.
I just say to her, I guess we are done then, huh? And walk out the door and walk home.
Okay.
Now they're married with 2 kids, so there's at least a happy ending to this story.
Bro is Mr. Brightside. Now I'm washing my hands and they're fucking on the bed and I want them to stop, but I'm being a bro, so I sit in the chair and I wait for the finish. Didn't want to be gross, but there's only one syllable. This is so stupid. They finish, you stand up and clap and leave, and they're like, you know what? We were really good. That was an excellent let's get married. I want to raise kids with you. Next story is from the other POV. I was at a party. Some girl starts coming on to me. We go to the master bedroom. We start hooking up. I finish, and then a guy stands up and claps next to me and says, I guess you're done, huh? And then leaves. I don't know why he said that. Of course I'm done. Anyway, we're married now, so I don't know what happened there. I don't know who that guy was. I never saw that guy before in my life. This is awesome. This is a good story. This is an awesome story. I could riff on this story for 3 days straight. This is awesome.
When I was in 5th grade, I had this huge crush on this girl in my Sunday school class.
Cool.
I had liked her ever since 3rd grade and wanted her to like me back so much so that I wrote a song for her.
Okay.
When all failed, I turned to my older cousin who had a cousin and just graduated high school.
Yeah.
He jokingly told me to pull my pants down and see how she reacts.
Dude.
Not noticing the joke and desperate at this point, I made a mental note. We had a freeze dance minigame next night at church, and as soon as the music stopped, my pants fell to the floor.
Okay. In church. Well, okay. If it's during the freeze thing, you have a good reason to not pick them up, and now it's a little silly. Now it's goofy and funny, whatever. Is it underwear too, or just...
I was not prepared for her to vomit on me upon seeing my Johnson.
All right. Yeah, man. Okay. Now it's fake? Yeah, that feels like an extreme reaction.
After getting cleaned up at home, I got the beating of a lifetime.
Oh my God!
My cousin went free.
I thought it was fake, but now I think it's traumatizing. I'm sorry that happened to you. Jeez. He has a disgusting penis. Yeah, I was gonna say, how bad? What's it like there, man? Like mangled? What the fuck are we? What are we talking about here, dude? Like, vomiting? That's a fucked up story, dude. I don't know if I believe that last one, but it's Cringe Confessional, and all the stories are made up, and none of them happened, but we love them all, and that's the last one. Wow, what a great story. 30 great tales from Cringe Confessional, everybody. What a good night. A pretty good night. Some all-timers in there. I say that I usually don't remember a lot of these stories. I think I'm gonna remember that clapping one and maybe the FNAF one, right? Hey guys, there's chat. Want to be in there? Do you want to live in my TV? Come on over to the stream and I'll trap you in the pocket dimension. That's one of my feats. I create pocket dimension. I'm multiversal level power. Me versus Goku, who wins? Find out on the next video. Help grow my power by liking and subscribing. Ah!